I do not want this to happen again. I don't want this song to be like a memorabilia for Volk's toasted career every time I hear it. I want to wake up this Sunday and feel happy. I don't want to feel like this. If I have to see Volk stiffen on the floor like a cadaver again, I think I'll cry and shit and piss my pants and probably crap my pants. Seeing him done like that against Topuria was such a bittersweet experience, as well as exciting getting a new monster at the helm of 145. It came at the expense of one of the best champions to ever do it. It's like your parents telling you you're getting the new Nintendo Switch 2, but in the same breath breaking the news that grandma's dead. Sad day. Despite the title of this video, I am very nervous about this upcoming card. Diego Lopez is the human equivalent of dropping Mentos in a Coke bottle and shaking it. He has concrete in his hands and a utility belt of gnarly submissions, which is helped by the fact that he's a lanky-ass 5'11" Wendigo looking motherfucker. He also has this hair, and it's fine. It's fine, because he can do this. He'll do this to you if you say anything about the hair. Lopez has shot through this division at such a rapid pace that he went from a no-name newcomer on short notice to a fire and blazing prospect on the fringe of the rankings to a #1 contenders fight in the Sphere card to fighting the featherweight GOAT for the vacant belt. He did this in under 2 years in the promotion. What did you do in the last 2 years, huh? I bet you couldn't even finish One Piece in that time. This dude spent that time ripping through the UFC like a vortex. Diego Lopez has the sauce. Then we look over at everyone's favorite Aussie chef, Volkanovski, coming off a year-long layoff after being on the receiving end of some truly devastating KOs at the hands of Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. The first one was kind of excusable as it was extremely short notice and he was coming off the couch after like binge drinking for a month. So he was just not his usual sharp self at all. But the latter one was really, very bad. Even if it was shortly after the second Makhachev fight, only about 4 months, he at least had a full camp and trained specifically for Topuria for an extended period of time. And he knew what he was in for. And as the fight played out, he looked really damn good. Maybe he was a little tentative due to being reasonably wary of the heavy hands of Ilia, and he was kind of biting on feints pretty hard. But he looked as quick and tight in the striking and footwork as ever, but it did not matter one bit. Topuria found his timing in the second round and fucking night-night. Some fans of Volk were quick to excuse this knockout as well, as he'd just been finished not that long ago, and many admonished his team for letting him fight so soon. But to be honest, even if he wasn't coming off of that finished loss, I think this fight would have gone the same way it did. Topuria is just not fair. It's not fucking fair. He has a grappling base added on some of the slickest boxing we've ever seen in the UFC, and also has evil knockout power. Volk's whole style is dancing around, switching stances, finding weird angles, and counterpunching. You can't really counter in the pocket with someone as devastating at boxing on the inside as Topuria, especially if you can't match him blow for blow. It's literally just not fair. I'm sorry. I'd pick Ilia to beat him every time, to be honest. It's just stylistically a horrible matchup for him. However, in saying all that, I'm not prepared to come out and say that I think Lopez has the tools to beat Volk necessarily. I know he's extremely dangerous in all aspects, but I kind of think Volk's got this one. I think he's faster, I think he's more accurate with his strikes, has proven that significant height differences mean exactly jack shit time and time again, and in fact his lower center of gravity actually benefits him in the takedown defense department, and he's literally unsubmittable. Brian Ortega couldn't do it when he had him in fucking trouble in their fight, and Volk managed to survive having Islam Makhachev on his back several times in their first fight. Nothing came of it. For Islam anyway. Lopez is a submission demon for sure, but I just feel like Volk has shown us that he knows how to avoid that type of game, and even if he's ensnared in one, he has the grit to just sit there and wait until his opponent's arms tire out. I suspect this will be a striking bout mostly, and I kind of think Volk's gonna piece Lopez up with leg kicks and jabs, maybe hit him with a few stance switching right hands he's gotten so good at. Lopez has pop, but he's kind of fucking wild when he comes in sometimes, and I feel like Volk will be able to slip out the way and pepper him, probably to a decision or a late stages KO. And I say a finish potentially because Diego has shown that he kind of slows down as fights go on, and that was just 3-rounders. I feel like Volk's gonna weather an early storm, wear Lopez down, and get the win, thereby becoming the 2-time featherweight champion of the world. Again, it sucks seeing Topuria jump ship from 145, and I've said before I was kind of less excited for a second Volk run than I would have been for more Ilia at the top, but now that we're here on Fight Week, I'm kind of pumped, I'm not gonna lie. Volk might be a little older, but let's not pretend he didn't give Makhachev the hardest fight of his life 2 years ago. I think he's got this one in the bag. Lopez could catch him with something, however, he absolutely could. And if that happens, I think I'm gonna go put my head in a hornet's nest. As for the co-main, we got Chandler versus Paddy the Baddy. This matchup has grown on me over time. I'm actually kind of excited for it, and it's a good fight for both parties. I think it's one of the easier ways for Pimblett to climb the rankings and potentially not get his rectum resized in the process. And it's a very winnable one for Chandler. Lord knows he needs it. This dude has straight up just wasted the tail end of his career waiting for this bloated Irish junkie to get his shit together. Chandler's not necessarily my favorite fighter. It's no secret the dude's kind of dirty, but from his perspective, he desperately needs this. And on that note, I think I'll be picking Chandler to stomp Pimblett into the mat. He went 25 minutes to Charles Oliveira recently, and while he lost, and kind of badly, he didn't get submitted, even after doing this.
Look at this. Look at this. He's standing up.
He's always described his wrestling as anti-jiu-jitsu, and I tend to believe him. He might intentionally fight like a bonobo ape, but the skill is there somewhere. He also hits like a truck, and Pimblett has the head movement of a giraffe caught in a noose. Paddy wasn't quite as dominant against the husk of Tony Ferguson as he should have been, if we're to believe that he has the skills to get to the belt. And he got that submission on Green so quickly because the dude practically jumped into his arms like a moron. I don't dislike Paddy, I like the guy, truly. But the sad truth is, he's just not that good. If Jared Gordon can do this to him, I'm confident Chandler can do worse. Okay, fuck it. While I'm here, let's go ahead and hit the rest of the card in rapid fire. Buckle up. Patricio Pitbull is going to wrestle fuck and submit Yair Rodriguez. John Silva is going to beat the dog shit out of Bryce Mitchell, but it'll be more competitive than we thought or hoped. Dominic Reyes is going to beat Nikita Kralov by close decision, but it won't be anything spectacular. John Woodson's going to beat Dan Ige by decision in his usual weird-ass Sean Woodson fashion, where he's somehow beating Ige to the punch despite it looking like it should take him light years to reach the target. Fernando Jandaroba is going to control Yan Jianan to a decision. Chase Super will submit Jim Miller because he's basically the Grim Reaper for 40-year-olds. Julian Erosa will submit Darren Elkins. McCall and Jaychuk will beat Cedric Dumas by decision. Sumaderji by decision. Tulia by knockout. Cornell by decision. Boom! There you go. They call me the MMA genius in these here parts. Come back to this video and let me know how awesome and spot on my picks are when this card's over. And if I get any of them wrong, I shall record a video of myself punching a bear in the face and not moving when it retaliates. Alright, get out of here.